Hi, good morning. My name is Richard Patron from Karp Volvo in Rockville Center. I wanted to go over the XC90, which was Motor Trend's car of the year in 2016. It was the first model change that Sweden finally had full control over the vehicle. So it was a major step in the evolution of their goals, which are pretty lofty. It starts with safety, as it always does with Volvo. You can see here in the E-pillar, any car you have, you would be able to get your hands around it. In our cars, you can't, and the reason for that is, if there's a side impact, we have boron steel throughout the cage, 40% of it. The last XC90, the 2015, only had 8%. If you come inside the car, you're gonna see the new layout, and it's very un-Volvo. Volvo used to be known just for safety, not for styling, and not really necessarily for technology. Today, as you can see, there's wood, we have chrome accents everywhere. The main thing I'd like to focus right now on is the technology. If you look at this screen, it's set up in a portrait design, which is exactly like all of your iPhones, even down to the home button. You can swipe either way. You can swipe down. It's very intuitive. Your Apple CarPlay will go right into it, or your Android system, whichever you have. And that leads me to another important thing. We have our own modem in this car. When we need to download software, as long as it's not safety related, you don't even have to come into the office. We give 6 months free of AT&T's data, which can help you when your kids are using up all your own data. There's also another screen here on the dashboard. Similar to this is 12.3 inches, this is 9.3. You can customize it to your liking. We try and keep all the valuable information in front of the driver for the safety. The secondary information goes on this panel, entertainment and so forth. All the new cars, starting with this, have a panoramic roof. Volvo never made one, not because they wanted to make the car cheaper, but they had to know how to make the glass safer. And they were able to come up with that. So every car comes standard with a huge panoramic roof. When we go into the back, you see more of the stitching, the perforated seats on the inscription model, which this is, the top model. You can also, unlike most cars, you can move your seat in the back row. You can lean it forward, backwards, so each person has their own comfort. That goes too with the climate control. Each person can set their own climate. There's no arguing or trouble. And everyone's in maximum comfort. In our third row, you can see there's plenty of room, and as I mentioned, you can move the seats, so if someone larger is sitting in the back, you can move the middle row up a little bit. I'll take you around the back. Just like many of the minivans, you can kick to open it. If your hands are full, you can also kick to close it. Seats fold down very easily with a manual flip. It gives you some of the biggest cargo space in the class. There's two tire selections. These are the more sporty rims. We also have the diamond cut inscription tires, which make the car look even more beautiful. Just a small little feature is the mirrors. If someone hits you, it's not going to break off because it can go forward. Most people go back. We also go back when you lock the car. One of the other things I like, and I'll get back to the technology later, but I like when you can come up with a simple idea and make a mechanical solution to a major problem. as I was saying, not everything's about technology. That's a major part of Volvo's vision for 2020. A mechanical solution. This is a hinge. It's attached to our 4-cylinder engine, which comes in a 317 horsepower and a 248 horsepower. The difference between the two is this one's supercharged and turbocharged. The other one is just turbocharged. Back to this hinge. What's it for? If there's a front end impact, we're the only car that would have the engine and the transmission both drop to the floor instead of going into the passenger compartment. This is also a fire suppression system. It also helps keep the noise down. Why do we go to 4 cylinders? Because they weigh less. If the engine weighs less, we can put more steel and protection in the cage of the car. The XC90 has been tested. It can roll over 30 times without any of the cage integrity breaking down, which means if you're inside of it, you're not going to get hurt. I'd just like to point out some more, maybe looking at it through this angle, you can see more of the elegant styling, and the big difference is the lack of buttons. Just like we don't use buttons on our phones anymore, we don't need them in the car. You can do everything by touch, pinch, just like you do on your iPhone. You can also use voice commands. This XC90 is fitted with a utility rack. If you need even more space, if you're taking the kids to college, you can put stuff up there. That doesn't come standard, but it's an easy add-on. One of the signature features on all the new models, which started with this, is the Thor's Hammer daytime running lights. This is a feature you're going to see more and more of as we rolled out the other models, which are based on the XC90. That would be the S90 over there, the XC60, the V60, the V90, and soon to come is the XC40, which there's an enormous amount of buzz about. To me, probably like you, I started looking around and seeing this car. I didn't know what it was. I know an awful lot about a lot of cars, but I did not know what this one was, and I couldn't believe it was a Volvo. That's because of the styling. It's because of the power. Safety, of course. We're known for our seats. Sweden and Volvo itself were able to build this car from the ground up. Engineer it, design it, manufacture it, assemble it, all the way down to the little Swedish flag, which is on all of the cars. This is all part of Volvo's plan for 2020, as I mentioned, where they made the boldest statement ever of a car company that no one should die in any of their vehicles or be seriously injured. That's an extremely bold statement for any car company to make, or any company to make. The reason they're so confident are the mechanical features I just mentioned and the active safety that I brought up. This car, unlike the others, it has blind spot warning, just like in your car. Some of you may have a steering wheel that shakes to tell you you're going out of your lane. Our car will turn you back into your lane. It won't overrule you, but it'll make you feel and know what you're doing wrong. I also mentioned the modem, downloading software. That means when you come in and buy your XC90 or lease it, you're not going to say the next year, oh, they came out with new technology, now my car's obsolete. We'll be able to download it to you. So it's a modular design. It'll evolve. It was the first one that The Swedish actually had their hands on completely, and it follows through with the rest of our brands. Okay.